called the love needs, and in the original writing it included belongingness, and it's highly associated with the need for affiliation, but it is the business of people coming together and bonding with one another. Then we get into some others, such as esteem. And the esteem need breaks into two parts. One is esteem from others, that is, getting information from other people about how well or poorly you are performing, and self-esteem, which is what you give yourself. And the last one is self-actualization, which is strongly related to the need for achievement that we were talking about before the break. Now, these are stacked one on top of the other in the sense of when the need at a lower level is more or less satisfied, a person advances to the next level in the hierarchy. When that need is more or less satisfied, advances even further, and finally on up to those at the top. Now, can you make a case? No, I withhold that for a moment. Now, the details are in the text. I'm not going to recite all of them. I want to do a summary of some of these and let you work with the text and take you to a film scene from Toy Story that I think shows these things rather well. Now, figure 7.2 shows a more complex way of thinking about needs in a hierarchical form. This is called the existence, relatedness, and growth need hierarchy, which I have shortened, and legitimately we're allowed to do it, to ERG theory in the heading in the chapter. It suggests that the physiological and safety needs can be bundled into what are called the existence needs. Purely existence, just thinking of it as living. We need air, we need water, we need sleep minimally, we need food minimally. And then the belongingness and love needs make up what are called relatedness needs in figure 7.2. Then the category in the figure in the ERG called growth captures the esteem and the self-actualization needs of the Maslow theory. So this takes 5 categories, reduces them to 3. That's one difference, and one also what we perceive from the research, one improvement over the Maslow contribution. So the underlying research with the ERG theory has been fairly solid in supporting what it's suggesting that happens. Now it gets a little bit more complex, and it adds some features that don't exist in other views. It shares the feature of as a need is more or less satisfied, a person advances upward. But it adds that when a need is frustrated, such as you're on a job that, and I was pointing to growth, that's why the example I'm going to give you is associated with achievement. You're on a job that really gets you excited about yourself and how much you can do, and finally you master the job, and you just can't go any further in the organization, no promotions available, and you choose not to leave. You may slide down and start to refocus on the relatedness needs. And this is the business of the social needs becoming important again, and you focus on that, not because you have a need for nurturance, it's just that the job is squashing any effort for you to grow and develop, and it's the only thing left. You can converse with your coworkers and so on. Excuse me. Now, and it continues on down in the same way for the other 2 needs. But notice here at the top, it has what is called the enrichment cycle. And the drawing is suggesting a loop that centers on the growth needs. And the theory says that as the growth needs are satisfied and become experienced, you desire them even more. So, for example, you achieve something in your career, and you really would like to take on more challenges and do more of what you do that you enjoy. I think this fits me because I'm getting these funny reactions from people when I tell them I'm retiring. And then they say, as I have repeatedly told you, what are you going to do? I'm going to continue doing what I enjoy doing. It just won't have a university office and so on. So I feel that there is this continual desire to do the type of things that I tend to do. Now, there's a negative side to it, unfortunately. It's down at the bottom. It's called the deficiency cycle. And this is where the existence needs never get satisfied. So the person is locked in to focusing on the existence needs only and never moves up out of the existence box. I don't think this characterizes any of you here, but whom would you think that observation fits in society? The what?
Homeless.
Yeah, homeless. And I just have driving in today, right around here on Central, you see it all the time. And I saw some homeless people that I've seen repeatedly, and I thought of this immediately. They just barely get by. It doesn't matter what the source of the homelessness is, whether it's a psychiatric disorder or just plain laziness, the person is locked in. Now, I don't think that will happen short of some extraordinary deprivation in our lives. I don't think that will happen to us. But if you go back, maybe you can relate to it depending on your family and any experiences you had as a child. In my case, my father died when I was 12 years old. And guess who was working the next day? And for 25 cents an hour, by the way. That was the highest. I know you can't relate to that, but that was 1952. So just do a little. I was probably severely underpaid, but I didn't have a whole lot of choices in front of me. So I think I know. I'm not there anymore. That's nice. I'm up more at the top. All right, so what I want you to do, I'm not looking at all the details, would like you to get your arms around the details. If there are questions that come to mind when you're studying, you can always ask me by email. I answer everything that comes my way. The last theory that is of importance to us is Mcclellan's achievement motivation theory, and this one focuses almost exclusively on the need for achievement. It has a couple of modifications to it, but it heavily focuses on the achievement need and how, and in fact, he takes it to the point of saying that societies that are strong in this direction become extremely successful, especially when measured by monetary factors, wealth, and the like. So let's try your application of everything that we've done with this film scene from Toy Story. And this is on page 116. You can go full screen on me, Aaron, thank you. I'll just pull that out of the way. This is a 1995 Walt Disney animated film, and it's computer animation. It's not the, it's one of the earliest of the computer animated films. And Disney has returned to hand-drawn stuff. But to Andy, who is a boy in the film, whom you will not see, played by John Morris, or voiced by John Morris, his favorite toy is Sheriff Woody, voiced by Tom Hanks. And he gets a new toy as a birthday gift that is Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger, voiced by Tim Allen. Now, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger, you're going to see him early on, is this big space suit, space helmeted kind of a toy. In fact, it's legal for me to put the cover on the camera. If you could do that, Aaron, and pull it back a little bit. This is Buzz Lightyear. This is Sheriff Woody.